Coming up on Trending Today, it's an all-digital show. We'll travel to Utah and connect to the past with Ancestry.com and introduce you to one of the hottest online retailers in the country, Steals.com. We'll show you the latest in computer hardware protection, and we'll get you energized like never before. It's all coming your way next on Trending Today.
Hi everyone, I'm Miranda Kahn, and welcome to Trending Today, the show that profiles some of the most innovative and cutting-edge companies and products in the world. We're coming to you from Sobe Digital, a creative marketing and development company right here in West Palm Beach, Florida. They specialize in digital branding, and their clients come from all over the country. It's the perfect place for today's show. All of our segments are set in the digital world. We're going to profile some of the nation's most impressive and powerful internet companies, companies that are changing the way you shop, search, and the devices you work and play on every day. We start our show with Ancestry.com. The world's largest online family history resource is taking things to a whole new level.
What is your story? You may not always think it, but your family history and story are unique. The decisions of your ancestors made you who you are, and thanks to one company, understanding their lives is now more possible than ever.
Everyone wants to know where they came from, how they got to where they are today, and as you learn the stories of your ancestors, they're all the different pieces that ultimately add up to who you are. Ancestry started in 1983 as a publishing company. We published books and magazines and newsletters to family history enthusiasts. But in 1996, we put some records online, and since then, we've added 14 billion records to our site, and we tend to add records at about 2 million each day. We have 30 scanning facilities throughout the world. It's really state-of-the-art technology for scanning, where we can scan microfilm and microfiche, but we also have sheet-fed scanners where we can put individual sheets through, and also these amazing book scanners that will page by page and do a lot of the work for you. Ancestry.com gives the tools so that you can put together your family tree by yourself, and it's really easy to get started. You start with what you know. You go to our website and you put in information about yourself and about your parents and your grandparents. And when you get to the point where you're back a few generations, that's when our service really kicks in.
With 14 billion historical records, 60 million family trees, and more than 2.7 million subscribers, there is no bigger database than Ancestry.com. And now the company is taking it one step further with Ancestry DNA. This new test allows you to pick up your family story where the records leave off.
Ancestry DNA helps you build your family tree, make more discoveries. Taking a DNA test is the easiest way to get started, right? Because you send us a sample, and a few weeks later we give you the results, and you immediately learn all sorts of interesting things, including your ethnic background, but also the cousins that you have and where they may be living today. The difference with Ancestry DNA is that we have the fastest growing database, and the size of the database really matters. When you're trying to make connections, the bigger the database, the better the connections, the better the discoveries. At Ancestry, we've got 60 million family trees. So it's very likely that if you've built a tree and one of your cousins has built a tree, right? Not only do you have those trees, but you have the resources to continue to build those trees to figure out how you're connected.
When you get your kit in the mail, it comes in a box. The first thing you have to do is you have to go online and activate your kit. You put in your secret number, and it gets activated. The second thing you do is you spit into a little tube, and then you put it in a box and you mail it back to us. And the laboratory takes this little DNA solution, takes a little bit of it out, isolates your DNA out of it, and then subjects your DNA to a pretty complicated and really snazzy test to measure it at 700,000 regions all throughout your genome.
Those 700,000 regions, known in the science community as single nucleotide polymorphisms, or SNPs for short, are tiny mutations in our DNA that make us all unique. Ancestry DNA scientists then go in and compare your SNPs to SNPs from people all over the world.
We use a big collection of samples that have been collected from around the world, from Mongolia to lots of different populations in Africa, all over Europe, Mexico, South America. We've got samples from all over the world.
Ancestry DNA is connecting people like never before. few understand that better than Ken Drake.
I grew up in Riverside, California, in Southern California. To my adopted parents, I lived in the same home for 18 years. Later in life, as an adult, genealogy has always been something that I've been more or less interested in. And so when I saw finally that Ancestry.com had an Ancestry DNA test that was autosomal, that would show both the birth side, the mother's side and the father's side, and it was at an affordable price, I go, oh, that's interesting, I think I'll try that. Just to find out what my ethnic heritage was, because I really didn't know, right? I had no idea. So I happened to be looking on Ancestry, and then all of a sudden there was this close family match that showed up. First cousin, 99% sure. And so I thought, well, that's pretty close. First cousin, who I'm biologically related to. So I sent a quick note through the Ancestry messaging system saying, my name's Ken Drake, I was born on this date in Los Angeles, I have no knowledge of my birth family, and this says that we're a close match. If you have any family information, I'd be kind of curious to know. And then 2 days later, I checked in it again, and it said, 99% sure I'm your uncle. My sister gave up a baby boy for adoption on your birthday, and she'd like to meet you.
2 weeks later, Ken would meet his mother and younger sister face to face for the first time. A few weeks later on his birthday, Ken received an unexpected gift.
No way!
Happy birthday!
I can't believe it.
Bro,
How are you doing?
Ken's little brother had come along as a surprise, and it turns out the two both have a talent and passion for music.
We pulled the drums out, and we just had a jam session for half an hour, and that was the coolest thing, you know, to connect musically with your brother, and so we kind of have that shared interest and talent and bond, which has been kind of an amazing thing.
As the saying goes, study the past if you would define the future. And for the people at Ancestry.com, perhaps nothing could be truer.
I think it's very interesting to see where history has put you. We're all where we are because of giant historical events, migrations, plagues, wars, and all of those things have created forces that have put us where we are now. And you can see that in your genetics, and it reveals a huge history and a huge story that I find fascinating and very exciting.
So remember, there are millions of stories out there. Ancestry.com is here to help you find yours.
Next up is the story of Steals.com. No, nothing illegal is going on. Steals.com is a website dedicated to offering one special product every 12 hours. Products are top of the line and are marked down anywhere between 40 and 80%. Hence the name, Steals.com.
It is an American success story, and here's how it started.
So I was a very busy mom. I had 2 boys, one was 6 and one was 12, and here I am pregnant with my 3rd child, and it was a girl, and it had been 6 years since I'd had a baby. I started looking online for what's the latest and greatest everything, and online shopping was a relatively new thing. And I was really looking around for resources, and there was a lack of them at the time. I started to realize that shopping online just wasn't working for a busy mom like me. I really wanted somebody to spoon feed me something interesting every day. I assumed it existed and I could not find it. And when I realized that it did not exist, that is when the first website in the Steals.com family, which is BabySteals.com, was born.
BabySteals.com was the first deal of the day site for women online. And to be the first is both exciting and exhilarating, but also very intimidating. The inspiration of the company really came from a legitimate need from a working mom who was sure that there was somebody out there that would do all the work for them, that would scour the planet and get all the latest and greatest products.
Getting a deal online is one thing, But when you find a website that goes out of its way to provide fast shipping, great customer service, and self-coveted products that are rarely discounted, that's more than a deal, that's a steal. That's the philosophy at Steals.com, and they say it's paid off exponentially. Since the company's first steal, demand has grown so fast, they're now operating 4 steal sites: Baby Steals, Kid Steals, She Steals, and Scrapbook Steals.
It all started actually with one product, 24 hours. But the overwhelming acceptance of the model really encouraged us to do 2 a day. We feel that 12 hours is the perfect amount of time to be able to tell the complete story, to go into great detail, but also create the demand through scarcity that suppliers have come to love us for.
It's like a battlefield sometimes.
I get on at 8:59 a.m. and 8:59 p.m. and just wait and then check, buy, and then quickly log off before my husband catches me.
9 o'clock when the steal comes live, people will start buying it, and if you don't purchase it fast enough, you lose out.
When we sell out, we sell out. That's it. And that's the beauty of our model, because it creates that urgency, it creates the scarcity that we really rely on for people to want to make an appointment and be there right at 9 a.m.
We can only feature one thing at a time, so it's got to be amazing.
When a product goes live at 9 a.m. or 9 p.m., they always have customer representatives on Facebook ready to answer your question.
They answer every question immediately on their Facebook page. Their customers keep coming back and they'll ask about our products, and the other customers will answer for them. Like it's not just the customer service representatives who are taking care of customers. The customers take care of customers. It's the community taking care of community.
We take care of those questions in the open, in a transparent format, in front of everybody, so that they can see the type of people we are, and also so that others can learn from the conversation that's taken place.
We just grew and grew and grew. Things kind of exploded and our community just expanded. Moms just sort of went crazy, and we, so many of the other Facebook pages, I think, were talking about how to engage their customers and how to get them talking.
When I get on Steal Network, I'm like, okay, I could use that one and that one and that one, and oh, I definitely needed that one for a long time. I wish I would have had that when my first kid was young.
So right now, Steals has 4 sites. They have Baby Steals, Kid Steals, Scrapbook Steals, and She Steals, which is, for moms that don't have little kids anymore.
We have almost 60 employees here, and 77% of them are women. We've had over 35 maternity leaves in just the last 4 years. So there's a lot of babies, a lot of kids, and a lot of moms here.
I came here because of the culture. Doing human resources, you see horror stories in multiple areas. This is not a corporate environment. I love working here.
We always talk about how we're a Steals.com family, and it really is that way. We're not micromanaged. We're basically told to have ideas and run with them.
So many of the suppliers that we work with, they're mompreneurs. They're people that have come up with a product that was based on a solution to either being a mom or being a woman, and we represent a really unique opportunity because we don't cost anything for them to be able to market that product. It's just a matter of kind of leveraging their existing inventory and putting it out to the audience.
It was awesome to have a team of people who I knew were dedicating a whole day's worth of time to make my product to be successful.
Our marketing isn't just pay per click. It really is the whole package. The fast shipping, the great customer service, the amazing products, that you get it at a steal, that we're marketing our brands. It's a win-win-win for everyone.
We love what we do. We use the products that we sell, and we cherish the relationships that we create with our customers, with our suppliers, and with our fellow coworkers.
The things that we're the most proud of is the impact we've made on our customers and how we've made it easier to be a mom. And we're also really proud of the connections we've made with the customers, and we've created relationships that women will have the rest of their lives, from California to Canada, and that means the world to us.
Joining us now is Sobi Digital co-founder Chris McKell. Chris, how important is it to connect brands to consumers in the digital world?
And today it's more important than ever to connect brands in the digital world because of the use of multiple devices. So we're using cross-device technology. So if you're watching a sporting event, a commercial comes on, they're trying to match that with what's on your mobile device because they know you're going to switch over to that. It's quite a challenge, but it's really important these days.
We now head from the East Coast to the West Coast. Evutec is a young California company that's reshaping the way we think about protecting our cell phones and tablets. Evutec uses Kevlar for their cases. Kevlar is 5 times stronger than steel, so their cases are lighter, thinner, and sturdier. It's a product that has been getting rave reviews from everyone from industry insiders to consumers all over the country.
People are more connected now than ever before. Over the last 7 years, smartphones and tablets have helped open a new world of communication. But even with all their capability, they're still very vulnerable. Cracked cases, damaged hardware are just a couple of the outcomes when you drop your device. Since 2007, damaged iPhones alone have cost Americans nearly $6 billion. These days, people spend a lot of money trying to find the most protective case, but too often they sacrifice size for comfort. It's a sacrifice one company says you don't have to make.
Our industry to date and the competitors that we really work with and really compete against have really kind of set the mindset with our consumer that protection for the devices that we carry have to be big and thick and bulky to protect those expensive handsets and things that we carry.
It's at this year's CTIA Wireless Association trade show in Las Vegas where we find Evutec, a young company on the rise and changing the way you think about smartphone protection.
The award for Best Minimalist iPhone Case goes to Evutec for their Carbon S Air series.
Evutec would go on to win 2 awards at CTIA, Best Minimalist Case and Best Product Design. In fact, the judges couldn't even help but throw in a little endorsement.
As a matter of fact, I have this on my phone right now. This is a new product for CTIA this year. And they brought us shirts.
So Evutec stands for Ecology United with Technology. What we're doing is fairly new because we're using materials in a different way. We're using materials that are generally used in a different industry, but we're applying it to the wireless industry. Evutec is kind of broken up into 2 parts. The eco is for ecology and the tech is technology. On the eco side, we have a lot of woods that are sustainable, a lot of materials that are going to be sustainable, recycled. And on the tech side, we're using advanced composite materials like Kevlar.
Kevlar, one of the strongest materials used in today's markets, is crafted into every single Evutec case. And although it doesn't make the cases bulletproof, Evutec realized some serious potential with this synthetic fiber.
There's a lot of positive performance attributes to Kevlar. So it's lightweight, strong, and it's a very durable material. NASA uses it for the radon antennas for when they have to send signals. Racing, they use it to reduce weight for racing.
Kevlar is 5 times stronger than steel at the same weight. That allows Evutec cases to be some of the thinnest in the industry, only 0.7 millimeters. To put that into perspective, a single grain of table salt is about 0.3 millimeters thick. And since Kevlar has no metallic properties, the cases can't interfere with a handheld device's GPS, Wi-Fi, or cellular signal. But Kevlar isn't the only material protecting your device.
We have a process called Evutec, which is a coating, a multi-layered coating that we put on the Kevlar. Now, what is really nice about it is the Evutec gives it a very tactile feel and almost like a nice grip. Like when you hold our case, it's got a really comfortable feel to it. But again, with the layering, that coating that we put on actually helps you to really hold the device, and again, makes it just a really stable, case to use around your product.
But for some, the slick look of Kevlar was just a little too tactical. So to answer the demand from those consumers, Evutec turned to Mother Nature.
The same technology we use for Kevlar, we apply it to wood. So we use 0.2 millimeter thin wood, paper thin real wood veneer, and we can laminate it with Kevlar.
Bamboo, ebony, white ash. Evutec incorporates wood from trees all over the world while still being a friend to the environment.
One of the really cool things about us recently, we just became FSC certified, which is a big deal. It's a Forest Stewardship Council, which is it's a global organization which monitor the amount of wood or the types of wood that are used for certain products. So from start to finish. So it's not like we're just poaching wood just to make products. We're actually being very cautious about the materials that we're using and not destroying anything without having a mindset of being sustainable.
Strong, slick, and safe on the environment, Evutec has taken the wireless world by storm. And instead of trying to one-up the competition, the company has used innovation and strategy to create a new demand that industry leaders never thought about. That's Evutec, ecology united with technology.
Digital marketing is what they do here at Sophie Digital. It's also our next company is spreading the word about its product. 8 Hour Energy is looking to appeal to the everyday caffeine drinker. Instead of drinking coffee, soft drinks, or energy drinks, 8 Hour Energy delivers caffeine directly to your system through transdermal patches. It's all natural and made right here in the USA.
For every person who says technology has made our lives easier, there is another person who would argue that it has made our lives busier. Perhaps they're both right. With better, faster ways to get things done, the truth is that we are doing more things in less time. We work round the clock no matter what time zone we live and play in. With all the advances in science and technology, there has to be a way to effectively help our bodies keep up. This is the future.
We live in a fast-paced world, and everybody needs energy in some way, shape, or fashion. And people drink coffee, people take shots. So I wanted to get into that industry because it's really broad. I started doing some research online, and I found a company that they make patch products, that they were trying to do a mosquito repellent patch of some sort, something new, something different. Ran across the website by complete accident. And kind of came up with the idea, hey, why not let's try energy ingredients. I had to do some research, obviously, with the product and make sure that what I was trying to do was feasible. And of course, I'm not a chemist or anything like that, but I had to reach out to the right people to kind of put my idea together.
Transdermal energy patches are literally that. They're just a patch, so you have some kind of adhesive that goes on the skin, and they will release in a very controlled manner whatever it is that you're trying to get into the bloodstream.
The difference with the patch is you don't have to ingest anything. That's the best part about it, is you don't have to ingest anything. And never touches your digestive system. It's got no sugar, no calories. Those are all great selling points for us. And take it off, it stops working. That's the best part about it.
The transdermal patch is basically a liquid reservoir of whatever the drug is, or it's the drug dissolved in a solid plastic. And whether it's a solid plastic or a liquid reservoir, there's always a layer of plastic that controls how fast it gets released. And if you make that plastic thinner or thicker, you make that plastic filled with pores or channels, you can control exactly how fast that's released. You can make that constant, and then you get a constant delivery of whatever the drug you're interested in.
We've seen actually people who do triathlons that wear the patch, and we've seen them come out of the water with the patch on. And the patch is waterproof to a certain extent, and it's really key that you apply it correctly the first time.
Many people into fitness training who are focused on gaining mass or increasing stamina rely on controversial pre-workout supplements.
They're real strong, and some of them are real nasty tasting. They'll give you like caffeine jolt, or, buzz you out, but they're just, some of them are just, this, you just slap it on, you don't have to take anything. And a lot of people are really uncomfortable with artificial sweeteners, because, oh, they'll eat your brain or whatever. There's nothing in here. It's a patch.
Use of the 8-Hour Energy Patch is not limited to the gym and can be used to safely boost energy in other settings too.
My favorite is I do another company on the side. It's international marketing, and when we go to that, it's seminars, it's events. You're talking to people, you're learning. It's a lot of information. And instead of loading up on coffee or the little shots of energy which you crash from, I will use these, and it's just slow, even kill throughout the day. That's my favorite time to use them, and everybody there is like, "Give me those patches, give me those patches."
8-Hour Energy is a play off the typical 9 to 5, 8-hour workday. But thanks to the flexibility of their unique patch delivery system, 8-Hour Energy has the ability to keep up with your lifestyle, where one patch for a 4-hour boost or up to 3 patches in a 24-hour period for a 12-hour boost. It's a safe and convenient way to stay alert and focused for when you need it and for when you don't.
I was just talking to a friend, a bartender, and the hours that restaurant industry, hospitality, it's just the stress with people, and you got to keep that energy because it's tips, and you got to, and it's late hours. And she said she pops one on. If it's not strong enough, she can do another one and just remove it because there's not a lot of caffeine in it.
Well, I started Jolly Products in 2011. I was a valet at the time, and I kind of worked on it as a side project. And there came a point where I was like, okay, am I going to pursue this 100%, or am I going to, continue to do this as a hobby? So that was probably one of the hardest decisions I ever made, was to say, okay, I'm going to quit my job that's paying me really well and, kind of go head first into this.
Naveen saw the potential in his product and used his network to continue developing it.
I handed it out to friends, family, everyone, and said, give me some feedback, let me know if it works. They all came back and said, can I get more? I said, all right, you got it. I said, that's the business right there.
The ability to boost the body's energy without causing it to crash makes this innovation a standout among similar products. Using the science and technology of transdermal delivery, the 8-Hour Energy Patch is truly energy that sticks, and it's enhancing the lives and performance of the many individuals who already use it.
To be in the front of the restaurant, I mean, to be able to deliver genuine hospitality has become something that you have to be, you have to be on your game about. And other than that, it is a tough job. I ran into Naveen about a year ago, and he of course slapped one on me, and he said, hey, if you're in the restaurant business, I know it's a tough job, why don't you give this a try and see if it helps you out. Immediately did that the following day, and I thanked him ever since, because it's a product I've been using quite often.
I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Trending Today. We want to hear from you. If you know of something that's trending today, send us a suggestion or even a video. And for more information on the companies and products seen on our show, log on to trendingtoday.com. Thanks for joining us.